Yes, if you're brand new today, you're going, what's so funny? This is the first time in my life this weekend that I've ever worn this. First time in my life. Now, to be very clear, I have all the credentials to wear this with integrity. I have all of the official ordination certificates. I have the right in every way, shape, and form to wear this priest garb or clergy garb, and I never have, and I'm going to tell you why today. It's because what this represents when someone wears it is what all of us, anybody who has a relationship with God through Jesus, actually is a priest. Everybody, according to the Bible, is a priest. There's no separate class of people. And so today, that's the main thing. I want to detonate from anybody's idea that there's things I can do that you can't do, and God can't use you. He can, He will, and perhaps He even is. I'll tell you the worst lie, the worst thing that's ever happened in the church. It's the belief that there's separate classes of people. It's the belief that there is the clergy and the laity. It's the belief that there are pastors, preachers, ministers, and normal church attenders. That division, when that started getting in, it was the worst day in the church, the utter worst day in the church. Because what started happening was people just started to sort of inhabit buildings and just kind of check off some religious duty instead of encountering God and being used by Him. Just because you're going to a church doesn't mean God has a greater hold of your life. I mean, today, if you're in here today, you actually wanted to be here. And you probably aren't thinking you're getting any brownie points for being here. There's something in you that wants to engage. That's awesome. It's because God is doing something in you, and I want to help you see, to take it to a whole new place. Let's go back to the very beginning of the Bible. The second book of the Bible, Exodus chapter 19. And let's read this. Here's what it says. Now, therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all peoples. For all the earth is mine, and you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. This is the original vision statement that God had for the nation of Israel. God's people are always to be a kingdom of priests. So the problems that we have in our country and in the world are largely because God's priests aren't doing their job. How did Jesus' movement spread throughout the whole world? He did it because He ordained every follower of Him. Every follower, He ordained and said, go, be my feet, go, get going. Everybody was a priest. Everybody said, I get to play. I get to be filled with God's Spirit and be deployed and going after the problems of this world. You know, there's things that are not going to happen in this world until you get after them, because you are the priest that is ordained to intercede on those things. 3 things all priests must be. Number 1, all priests must be available. All priests must be available. All priests must say, hey, I'm ready, I'm enlisted, I'm ready, I'm going. There's all kinds of different priests. I'm fulfilling a priestly function when I teach like this. No different than a school teacher that's fulfilling a priestly function when she's or he is in the classroom helping people understand that 8 times 9 is 73. This is a priestly function because kids are 72. Kids have been given brains. God loves education. He loves to develop the mind and the brain, and that is a priestly function to develop the brain, and you have to be available for that. You are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for His own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of Him who called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. This is not talking to people who've been to seminary. This is talking to anybody who says, I want to follow Jesus. You are a chosen race. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, where you're born. If you're a follower of Jesus, you have the same race of the church, and you're a royal priesthood. If you think that someone else has to go to God on your behalf, if you think somebody with credentials, we are operating as a peon. We should all be offended at that. Everybody gets to play. Everybody must be available. All priests must be available. Number 2, priests must be mobile. Priests must be mobile. Priests must be available. Priests must be mobile. Mobile. I think that if you were talking to the priests when the temple was built, this temple structure, I think obviously they said, man, I'm glad we don't have to set up and tear down all the time. They had this tabernacle that was a portable temple, and it was a pain in the butt, and I think they loved the temple. I mean, I know down in Florence right now, they loved from day one, they had a nice permanent temple. Mason, by the way, is grunting it out. Years and years and years now, they're on this portable tabernacle setting up. Mason will be excited, just like we were. We started in Hyde Park and then came here with a permanent structure to not set up and tear down. So I'm sure those priests were excited that they had this temple. But I bet if you talk to a bunch of them, I bet they say, yeah, but there was something special when the temple was mobile. Genesis 12, 2-3 says this, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I'll bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. God intended for there to be a movement of people, a church that blessed the earth. And how do we do that? Everybody gets to play. Finally, not only priests, all priests have to be available, all of them have to be mobile, all priests must be relatable. All priests must be relatable. Now, what is the function of priests? What's the function of Jesus? Part of it is they're relatable. I understand it. Somebody says, God, I just don't understand God. Do you understand Jesus? Yeah, I don't. Then you understand God. Because Jesus is God. If you understand him, you understand the core character of God, because they're one and the same, and he came in the flesh and is relating to us. Priests are relatable. I want you to sit there and see my faults and also be able to go, my goodness, it looks like God's kind of using Brian Tome. My goodness, if God can use him, he can definitely use me. Absolutely he can. And he can, I'm telling you right now, whoever you are, whatever's going on in your life, if you've received Jesus, you are a part of his church, you are a holy nation, you are a royal priesthood, and he can use you. No different than you. There's nothing about anybody you think is impressive spiritually that you can't do or don't have access to. You are ordained in the priesthood to be a force of blessing. You are ordained in your business, in your civic organization. You are ordained in your household. You are ordained in all volunteer service at Crossroads or at the Red Cross. You are ordained when you are doing amazing pieces of art. You are ordained when you start new things, entrepreneur. These are all functions of the priest. The day you receive your ordination and you act according to your holy family will be the day that your year will be the best year of your life.